Unbeatable! Best team in the league versus the best team in the league. Well, that worked out for them, didn't it? Leicester, 0-0. Gary Lineker's salty tears. Absolutely nothing. Leeds United, greatest team in the country, won. Very nice. My name's Adonis. You know me as the Adelites on Twitter, and this is the Roaring Peacock. We're going to talk about Leicester 0-0, nada. Get out of here. Leeds 1. And to talk about this, Barney, LUFC, the man from the internet, Barnes.
Oi, you all right?
Very good, thank you, Barnes. And Maciavelli, Prince of Darkness, if his camera's working. At you, Metcalf, Mac.
Hello, are we doing all right?
Very good, thanks, Macca. Well, very good after a win. So we haven't done a match review in a while, but first thoughts. Shall I go to you, Barnes? You must be happy.
Yeah, because my prediction was right. I said 1-0, didn't I? I thought we were really, really well.
Well,
You know,
That's a message already, isn't it?
Someone's turned that. Do you know? I've just done the first fire. I feel very un-Yorkshire. First fire of winter.
wow.
And it's heating up in the chat on Twitch. So if you're on YouTube, you won't be able to see it. Hey, babe, how are you doing? I'm feeling very lonely and bored right now. Come sub and chat with me on my OnlyFans. I'll send you something for free. And it's also free to subscribe. So DM me on there. 18 plus only. That's
Is it Leeds United related? Whatever you're going to send me, is it got anything to do with Leeds United? Is it the save in the last minute? That's I nearly came when that happened.
Right.
Yeah. It's from that Barney's new ring porn lighting's made. It's fucking inspired a whole generation to fucking contact us.
Anyway, yeah. So that's the game. I thought we were just fantastic from the start. We were just at them. They didn't like to be pressed. I thought that was the best pressing I've seen from a Fart team this season as well. We played really well. We liked to be on the ball. We were attacking. We were comfortable on the ball. Just everything worked really well. Ampadu was class. Kamara is just getting better and better each game.
Average footballer, Kamara.
I mean, 5 million at the moment just looks a right bargain. Yeah, just really, really. The thing is, it was one of those games that was really enjoyable to watch at the same time because both teams were at us. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Good game.
Nice one. Mac, first thoughts?
Yeah, just similar, really. Great. I've criticised the lack of...
If your blood's returned to your brain, that is, after that intriguing first chat message?
Yeah, just about, mate. Just about, yeah. It takes a bit more than that these days. But yeah, so... yeah, do you know what? I criticise how slowly we've started. Not just the start of a game, but each half we seem to start slowly, a bit, you know, with a bit of trepidation at times, a little bit reluctant, a bit gun shy in front of goal. But I thought that we started brilliant in both halves, and that made a big difference. It never let them settle and didn't get in the rhythm at all. Barney's mentioned some performances which we'll probably come on to. I think that the press, it's so important that you do it the right way, and I thought by letting their keeper sort of almost have it and then pick his first pass and then all press together as a front five or front 4 or 5 really worked last night, and we looked like the better team all over the pitch. Beating Huddersfield and teams like that, thrashing them is enjoyable, but predictable. I thought that's probably the best victory of the season because, you know, against Southampton, another team that you kind of expect to be up there and thereabouts, we didn't turn up, and it was just nice to see us turn up and give them a game. And, you know, bar the kind of possession stats, I thought we were the better team and probably had the better players in just about every position. I'll be honest, I'll qualify that by saying by all accounts, they had a bit of an off night, but, you know, I don't think we allowed them to play. So yeah, I thought we were better than them in every position, and rightly won the game, created the better chances. I mean, they didn't have a shot until the 97th minute. The header that produced the brilliant save from Meslier. So yeah, brilliant, really pleased, and what a great way to start the weekend on a Friday night. Superb, sets you up, done it perfect.
Yeah. Liam B, evening lads, great night last night. Leeds, and he says, Big Mac, great to see you are hosting tonight. Are you?
Oh, since when?
You're gonna do? Are you gonna? Shall I just sit back and let you take it? Gonna take it? No, I'll keep
If
going.
you want it to go really badly downhill and fucking go west south really quickly, you do what you want.
You share your screen and you're subscribing to this OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'm on it already. Yeah, it's not worth it.
All over it.
He's really ugly.
Story of the game then. So I thought very much like you fellas, fast, energetic start, which was, different from the rest of the season so far. Pressure cooker. We put them under so much pressure. I think that they probably haven't felt that since maybe the whole game, but it must have been better than that. I didn't watch it, but penalty shouts. So that's something to talk about. And ref watch. We used to have that little section, didn't we? Ref watch. Leicester wings. I thought they were really good in the first half. Terrorised Archie Gray and Sam Byram. Big start to the second half again. So 2 fast, energetic starts to both halves. And then the goal we've got to talk about. Thought really good from Sam Byram. Deserved more than he got, but it was a good save. And we sat back after the goal. That's the talking point. And then, of course, a Meslier save. So out of those talking points, and where do you want to start? Should we do the penalty shouts? Did you think
either
was a penalty?
Early. They came quite early, I think, in the game. So let's start there. But do you know what? Can't with any conviction say that either was a penalty. I have got a slight thing about Jorginho, as great as he's been, and Somerville to a point, go down a little bit easy at times for me. I think that's qualified by the first one, the Somerville one. It does take him off balance by just that hand. It doesn't have to be a lot, does it? The smallest contact when you're running at pace. It just grabs him just by his shoulder and it kind of takes him off balance. But I think if you fight to stay up there, and then Faze came in with quite a wild tackle, if he's just that could quite easily have been a penalty if he'd have got to the ball first. So I think sometimes that'd be my only. It can be the only criticism of Somerville, is he does sometimes look to go down a little bit early, or the first contact he'll look to make a play towards the referee. I don't think the second one had enough about it, enough contact. And again, you kind of think, stay on your feet, and keep pounding into that box, because people start to panic. You get your shot off. I can't with any conviction say that either was a penalty for me.
Barnes?
I thought the Ruter one was a penalty, but I think those penalties would have gone to VAR if it was in the Premier League, and probably would. So it swings and roundabouts. Do you want VAR in a game that's going really well, or do you just want to think that's the rough of the green, and maybe we'll get those sort of penalties later on in the season? I wasn't going to lose my head over it. It was ifs and buts. But the funny thing is, we probably would have spoken about them all for the week if we hadn't won that game anyway. So it's sometimes it's just rub the green, isn't it? So for me,
personally, I think I'm with Mac and I'm with you as well, Barnes. I think they were soft. I think it was soft. And if it gets given against you, then you really are talking about it all week, because it's so soft. I just think the bar should be high for offside. So, if it's that marginal that AI is drawing, point thousandths of a millimeter lines, then
Agreed.
That should be onside. So the bar should be high there. And I think also with contact, it should be high as well. Especially that's going to stop people diving as well. So if it's, it can't just be that soft that people go down. And the other thing is, they both Ritter and Somerville. That for me, they're not the best divers either. Like they make it look a bit obvious.
Impressive, does it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like Bamford's very good at it. Maybe Bamford can give them lessons at some point during the week, because he's very good at it. I remember, he got that lad sent off against Villa in that crazy game where they gave the goal back. That was a class piece of acting by Bamford. Probably not appreciated by the wider footballing world as much as it should have.
It's a real art.
There's never one of those end of the year awards, is there, for the best dive of the year at these, Football Writers Award.
Which is a real shame because you see it in the modern game now. So it's become a real skill in the game, isn't it, to get a player sent off for a penalty or something.
It's an absolute
the more you
form.
try, I think the more you try and stay up, and the more genuine you are about trying to stay up, the more it does look like a penalty. I never think anybody who dives never looks like a penalty, even if it is. Even if they feel the contact and go down, it looks a bit manufactured, and I think that probably we suffered a bit from that last night. Certainly the Rutter one, because I thought that there was a little. He did sort of catch his heel, but I don't think there's enough there. And I'd like to see him trying to stay up and just swing about it and get it on target and see what happens, rather than sort of flailing and falling down.
Right, Liam Beat, great back four last night. All of them together, Archie and Byram, did a great job stopping their two wingers most of the night. Even Byram played so well after the yellow card. That's true.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because when he got that yellow and then he did that other thing, I'm like, he's going to get ready if he's not careful.
Yep. Good point, Liam. Skip, who would you say is our best bargain in reference to performances, Byram or Kamara? Well, we got Byram for free, didn't we? So
yeah, got to be Byram on it. And I think he's probably played more game, and he's filling a gap that is a problem for us. I think that left back position is still a big problem for us. I know Firpo was on the bench last night, but let's see what happens with him, because he could come on and it still be a problem for us, So I think he's probably the one that's filled a contentious and an important gap and created that back four that we've got, by having him at that left back spot. I thought Kamara was terrific last night. I mean, quite easily. Well, not quite easily, because I thought Rodan ran him a close second, and possibly Ampadu as well. There was others in contention, but he was head and shoulders above everybody else on that pitch yesterday, where he received the ball, how he used it. There's a couple of times where I want him to play it a little bit quicker, that we broke and he kind of got on the ball. I want him to play that easy pass out wide, whatever, but he's like scanning and assessing what's in front of him and all around him all the time. So he's not going to play the most obvious pass quickly, because he's looking for a killer pass or one that is going to cut people in half. So I thought he was terrific last night. So it's hard to pick. It's hard to say who's the better bargain, because you've got, Archie Gray's come through the youth ranks and he played right back. And my criticism of him has always been that he's good against people who are a bit, lack pace, but when he's played against people with pace, Norwich and so on, he's struggled a bit. But he was more than a match for that lad last night. And let's qualify that again by the midfielders helped out brilliant all night. I mean, doubling up on people, not allowing them to have the space to sort of take fullbacks on. I thought it was a real team effort last night, and that's why it's hard to pick individuals out, because they just work so well together. The unity in the team looks at an absolute premium again, which is brilliant to see after some of the Marsh years, where they look disjointed and like a bunch of strangers, really.
Barnes, Kamara, Ampadu, Byram.
I just like how they just know where each other is all the time. And especially, how the ball just stuck to Kamara sometimes, and how he just managed to go forward. But going back to Mac's thing about the wingers or the fullbacks, is how the winger, we started to see a pattern of play of what we do now. So when our fullbacks go forward, you see one of the midfielders drop back, and it just works so well. Either Kamara or Ampadu will drop back, and everyone knows where everyone is, and you seem to see those patterns of play, which is really enjoyable to watch. But Kamara,
having a proper coach in it. Beauty having a really good coach who drills in like systems and
it's mental, isn't it? How it actually works. Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking terrific, isn't it?
It is.
Sorry about it. Cut you off then.
No, but with Kamara, it's strange how we got him for 5 million from Rangers. When he first went to Rangers, he apparently was a really, really good midfielder. Then he just seems to lose his way a bit. It's a very strange career path how it's ended, how it started for him going to Rangers and to a Championship team, where you would have thought he'd probably kick on a level and go to a Premier League team. I don't know, but 5 million just seems a ridiculous price for him.
He has kicked on a level.
Yeah, I'm going to say he has.
But he was playing European football, wasn't he? And did he probably play Champions League football as well? So.
Yeah, but they lose, don't they? Come on, don't they lose all the time? They might beat Young Boys or someone. I think that the Championship is it's the 6th biggest league in Europe, isn't it? So after the top 5. And even some of those clubs in like Liga and nah. So yeah, I thought the Leicester wingers were really, really, really good in that first half, and I thought that Archie Gray and Sam Barham, they struggled in that first half a little bit.
Yeah,
Just think they're both at they're at either sides of their career. So Archie 17, people are expecting a lot from him, sort of saying, "Oh, I don't trust him at right back." Before the game, well, I mean, he's 17. What do you expect? And then Byram on the other end, I don't think, when we first learned in preseason that he was just training with us. I thought it was just training with us to keep his fitness up. I didn't think he'd be so integral to the side and to the sort of promotion push that we seem to be on now. And that, oh my God, for the goal, the run into, you saw a few of those corners from Dan James in at the near post, and it wouldn't beat the first man. Sort of the number of years we've all been watching football and watching corners not beat the first man, and it's like a dagger in your brain. Basically, it's just so frustrating to see. But with the goal, you saw what he was trying to do. He finally got it just over that first man onto Byram, who's rushing in, makes a brilliant run, spectacular header, great save, and it comes out to return. But I mean, that's how good Byram's been playing. It's absolutely unbelievable. So I think in terms of which one's the better bargain, you're always going to take the freebie, especially as a Yorkshireman. You like something for free, don't you? But I mean, people were comparing Kamara to Oliver Decore. And I think I
retweeted that. I retweeted that, but I could sort of see because he's got that. I mean, he's never going to be on the same level as Decore, but he's got that nasty side to him where he doesn't mind getting his foot in, but also he's got that really creative side to him where you really enjoy watching him when he's on the ball. So I can sort of see the comparison, but he's never going to be on the same level as Decore, obviously.
And Mackie was saying about how Kamara is a bit slow, on the bit ponderous on the ball at times. And I think
on the break, I think he slowed it down.
Rutter was a bit like that, but I think, but after so many games of playing with it, he's got these connections now, and
definitely he's not played many games, has he? Kamara's not started that many games, so he'll get better. And I think, it's you get clever players who want to sort of consider 3 or 4 options. Sometimes you just want them to play that quick pass straight away and get keep that momentum, that break going, particularly when we're in transition and we're on the break. Because we've got such quick players, but I can understand why he's doing what he's doing, as I can understand why Rutter does it sometimes. He's looking for that 3rd or 4th sort of option, if you like, the harder pass that suddenly appears when people start moving around the pitch. So, I get it. I'm not criticising him. I thought he was tremendous last night, almost faultless last night.
I think it's also...
On the Byram thing, sorry, really quick. That's experience, that to get booked so early against a good winger who was having a good game, to just learn how to see out the rest of that game and hardly let him have a kick, and it's probably down to manager as well. He's saying the midfielder's going to have to get involved here, maybe take one for the team. I think the whole system just works really well, and the shape of the team in the second half, as much as we let them have a lot of the ball, they ran out of ideas after about 20 minutes. So I said it last night. It was almost a perfect away performance against, let's be honest, a good side, a good squad. With talent. So really pleased. But Byram's experience showed last night, and I think Gray. We have a saying like at work. It's not the strongest that survive; it's those that adapt the best. And I think the thing about Gray is he adapts really quickly. So he might get a rough 5 or 10 minutes, but he seems to learn and adapt to the game really quickly. That's the dynasty of the Greys, isn't it? They're a footballing bloody dynasty in Leeds. So he'll be able to sort of read each game as it comes and just get better and better and grow as the game. But no, I thought he did, and even though Illan, I thought it was probably the right move because I think Gray got a bit of a knock. But as soon as Illan came on, you sort of saw there's a frailty there to the way Illan defends. Letting I don't think Gray will let Dewsbury Hall get that header on target. And again, the sort of danger comes from moving that back four around a little bit and bringing on somebody who's probably past their peak. But you can't criticise anybody last night. I thought everybody that played a part, the subs. Anthony was great when he came on. He held the ball. He was brave. I thought they were all cracking.
Okay, Liam B. We need to purchase Rodon in the January window if possible. Rodon is a great mentor for Strauch, our new captain. I think Strauch is going to become world-class centre-back. So Joe Rodon, do you want to talk about him? Solid, absolutely solid. And I think, we made the mistake last time, didn't we, of going up and not sort of securing Ben White and not just paying, going over the top like Arsenal did and paid 50 million. We Rads probably in the end didn't have that sort of levels of investment to put into the club. So Joe Rodon, Barnes. Does he make you feel safe? He makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
I sleep so well at nights knowing that Joe Rodon exists.
The thing is, there's something about him that I think he could even be better than Ben White was when we were promoted with Ben White. It's just that
bloody hell, Barnes. That's a big.
There's something about him that he's got that nasty side to him, which I really like with a centre back. Ben White was just too nice on the ball, and he was just so good. But sometimes with a centre back, you want that bit of a nasty side to him, a bit of a get that tackling kind of thing, and his pace as well. I mean, the pace that Leicester has. I think if Cooper was in there, we would have been absolutely destroyed in parts as well. And the partnership he's got with Strike, I mean, I've always been a massive fan of Strike. His quality never left him last season. It was just because he was played at left back, out of position, then in a centre back in later on where we were just on our arse and letting goals in left, right, and centre. We forget how young he is still. So I mean, I'm a big fan of Strike. Always have, and the fact he's a captain as well speaks volumes for me.
Yeah, so young, still so young, and they've grown so much this season. I feel like. Mac, Rodon, should we buy him?
Absolutely agree with Liam. I think that's the way forward. Buy him now. Get the deal done in January. Let him know he's got a place there. He's not a loan player, and show some faith in a player that's transformed that back line. Because if you look at it, Strike, regardless of playing out of position, even when he played centre half, looked a shot player last year because he had frauds playing next to him. He had, Koch and Werber and others, less capable. I think he improves everybody around him, in the midfield and Meslier behind him and everybody next to him. So, absolutely agree. Get him bought because, I think the talk is it's like 15 million quid to buy him. Go find another centre half as good as him for 15 million quid. Simple as that. Get him bought.
I think the fullback positions have made the centre back positions look a lot better. Strauch was so exposed because of our problems at left back in the Premier League against the world's best attackers, and you see what Byram's done, and that's solidity. And I thought in the second half, when Somerville and James were dropping back and helping Byram and Archie Gray a bit more, so forcing the Leicester wingers inside and the Leicester play through the middle, you could see that solidity increase even more. And then obviously Strauch and Rodon are going to look way more solid. But Rodon as an organizational unit, as somebody who throws his body on the line every single time, he doesn't take any chances, who does the basics extremely well. He's not the ball playing midfielder that Ben White is, but he's got that nasty streak, like you said, Barnes, that I really like how he doesn't take it. When he slid in and cleared the ball, even though Meslier was right there, almost out of Mellier's hands, he's just not taking any chances at all. I really like Rodon. I think he's improved us massively.
Class. And he can play football. He played a few passes through the lines yesterday, through about 3 or 4. And I'll tell you the mark of a player like Rodon is, and Strike as well. I wasn't worried. I thought it was good for us that Barney started, because I'd be worried if Barney had come on as a sub with fresh legs, because I think he's, again, past his best. But then you think, shit, that shows the same. He's one of them players that can come on with 10, 15, 20 minutes left and score, with one touch. Neither of them got a kick. And that tells you everything you need to know about the performance of both of those lads. I thought Rodon was immense. I thought if Kamara didn't get man of the match, he was pushing for that because no quarter given, won every header, never looked at. They always say it's like they say about Ferdinand, didn't it? You see these centre halves making sliding tackles and last minute ditch tackles and what have you. They can only get away with that so many times in a game or in a season. He never seems to put a foot wrong. He never looks flustered. He doesn't seem to get caught out of position. He's not catching up people trying to make those last-ditch tackles because he's always in the right place and he reads the game so well. He's got so many attributes that you want to see in a centre half that it's ridiculous if we don't. It's not always possible, let's be really frank, but if we don't make every effort to try and sign Rodon in January, then there's something wrong because he's a Premier League. The other thing is he's a Premier League centre half. It's as simple as that. He's not a Championship centre half. He's a player that we'd really need to be going up if we want to keep players like him. I thought he was class, and I think he's been. I mean, you look at the tackle against Huddersfield the other week where the kid had 10 yards on him and he makes up the ground and puts in an absolute stormer of a tackle where there's no fault. There can be no risk attached to that tackle that he makes. He just clears him and the ball out. I think he's tremendous. I've got a lot of time for him. Leader, communicator. He's got pace. He's got everything you want. So get the deal done.
He's a bit like Liam Cooper, but without the
faults.
Yeah, without the nervous energy that Cooper sometimes has, and the mistakes that he made. I feel like Cooper's a little bit susceptible every now and then to that just one error or two errors in a game. But he's got all of the other things like the sort of leadership quality and the getting stuck in. He's the player that I was hoping Koch was going to be. Or turn out to be. And the other thing I like about Rodon is he always looks in pain. He gets up the camera pass and he's like, very good. Okay, Liam B, let's get on to some of your comments. The men of the match were the two midfielders were working together. If I had to pick one, Ampadu for me. Skip says, would you bring in a real number 10 in the January window and risk damaging what we have now? It's interesting because there's been a lot of talk about Joel Pirou playing at number 10, and the argument being that maybe he's not the best chances aren't going to fall to him. But I thought they did actually last night, and he fucked him up.
I think people are giving Pirou people aren't giving him a tough time. I think what people are doing is assessing him, the player that we bought from Swansea. He's doing a completely different job. His work rate last night, if you watched him off the ball, was amazing. He never stopped running. He was closing people down. He was making clever channel runs. He was making a lot of movement to receive the ball. He's also really good at decoy running, so he'll distract people and take people away from somebody, leave them in space. The reason why Rutan got taken off was because Pirou was working 3 times as hard as him. As much as I love Jorginho, I think he was brilliant last night, Pirou, and I think people are looking, why ain't he scoring? Why is he not scoring a goal every other game? Because he's not playing that thing. He's not playing as a 10. He's playing almost as an 8, 10, 9. He's all over. That I said to him today that front four, apart from James, interchange position and sort of end up all over the pitch like no other team I've ever watched, not even a Bielsa team. So I think it's really hard to be. Ultimately, if you're winning games, it's the old thing about definition of teamwork where there's greater than the sum of its parts, and that's what we are. Why would you change it? Somebody's put a comment about, would you go after that 10? I used to play that position a lot, so I love the 10 position. I think having a good 10 is a massive thing, but you wouldn't upset the apple cart. Now, the other thing is we've got to a Bielsa point where you can't just bring players in based on ability anymore. You look at that Amiri, had he have come and he's now regretting the fact that I don't think he'd have been a fit personality-wise. I think he'd have been a prima donna. I think he would have not necessarily gelled like you look at the unity in that team now, how happy it makes you, how confident you are that they're going to fight for each other and stick up for each other, and I don't want players coming in based on ability now. You need to have the ability, but also the application and attitude to be part of this team. Now that's a wonderful place to be in it. That's what you want as a Leeds United fan. Is we're not just buying some prima donna who's going to come in, you see the Sinisteras or whoever it might be. We're buying players who want to be here. I think it's partly why Nonto is struggling a little bit. I know he's only just come back from injury, but I think Nonto has been found out a little bit during the close season for, agent or not, youth or not. Look at Somerville, look at how he's conducted himself throughout, and he's had offers probably more than Nonto, better offers than Nonto. So I think that, previously it was him and Somerville and Nonto were kind of this partnership, this, best buddies and dancing around on the pitch and all that. I think Somerville's almost left him behind a bit, and he's become a bit isolated as Nonto. You can kind of see that now. There's not that unison between those two that there was on the pitch and just friendship-wise. Because to fit in at that team now, you've got to be part of that wider group. You can't just have a little buddy or have cliques or whatever. It's class. I love it. I mean, that's how you create a great team ethic and a great work ethic on the pitch, and a proper team bonding. A kind of camaraderie that you want right across the team, rather than little cliques and he's my best mate and he's my best. You don't want any of that. And I think Nonto's probably guilty of doing a bit of that.
It's difficult one, that number 10, isn't it? Because who do you take out? And the thing is, I know Piru's missed a couple of chances last night. Whatever, it doesn't matter. That he's going to bury some chances at some point and go on a scoring run like he did at the start of the season. He's capable of doing that, and apparently he's our penalty taker as well. So you can't take Rutter out. He's our best player. He's probably the best player in the championship. And in the players of the match, in my notes down here, I just put Rodon solid. I could have talked about Kamara or whatever, but I just put Rutter attitude. And I just think, like, of all of the players that we've brought in, or that have, sort of had their breakthrough into the first team, Rutter's attitude, I think that's been the biggest transformation for me, because he's become like the spirit and the soul of this team in the way that Alioski embodied that Bielsa side.
Agreed. And because he's nuts as well. He's just like Alioski. He's definitely a bit. He's not playing with a full deck, is he? Jorginho, definitely not. Yeah, great. And you know what? As well, smile on his face.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's just enjoying his football. It's really like when his interview after the game, like really smiling, like, yeah, I'm really happy. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's not they asked him about singing his name. He said it's not just about me, it's about the whole team and stuff like that. But going back to the Peru thing, is that he plays in that sort of role that Harry Kane plays in, where he comes quite deep in, and it draws the other players out. And going back to Mac's point, some of the positioning of the players and how they interchange as well it's a joy to see. And I mean, as a defender, opposition defender, you were marking 9. There's a number 9 where sometimes there's Rutter there. Then all of a sudden, Somerville pops up, and you think, hang on a minute, it was on the wing earlier. And that's the joy for Peru, because some of the stuff he does, it draws other players out. So just because he's not scoring doesn't mean he's contributing to the teams. There was a goal that he actually scored at Ellen Road. I can't remember which way was it. Who did we play? Watford, yeah. And he got the ball and he scored from outside the box. But the movement to get that ball and score, it was a joy to see. The guy next to me said, "It's just movement, isn't it? It's just the way you see those players move around. It's a joy to watch sometimes.
It's impossible to mark them, and that's the sort of swapping positions and that kind of interchange is superb. And I think the thing about Peru is, I know I was gutted that he missed that chance early doors. But I love the way he finishes. He didn't just try and get it on target or hit the target. He tries to smash it in the top corner. It's like, I love that, me. And the goals will come without a doubt. And if you don't understand how good a footballer he is as well, technically, and how his touch and how he moves people around and makes space for others, you're probably watching the wrong game. Cause you're probably following the wrong sport.
He's a finisher as well, isn't he? Like, he's not just going to hit and hope. He's not even going to hit he wants to hit the corners of the goals. You know, you're never going to see him like probably put one straight down the keeper's throat. You know, he's always aiming for those corners. So even if it misses, you know, well, fine. But that's what he's aiming to do. He's not going to give the keeper easy saves in the same way that, say, Dan James does, he's clearly not a finisher. He's not a natural finisher.
Well,
Certainly not with his left foot, anyway.
Rutan did it 2 or 3 times yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
He's P-rolled a couple of shots, and that's not Pirro. And the chance that the keeper saved that went out to James, you know, the one that he tried to put in the far corner in the second half, you know, he did just try and get it on target or knock it 30 yards over the goal, try to put it. He's not far off. It's inches in it. It's you know, a foot away from being bang on. So it'll come.
And I know what Skip's saying. Like, I know what you're saying, Skip, because, you know, if you added a Pablo Hernandez, if you added, you know, a really extremely creative midfielder who could create lots of chances all the time and was very, very accurate, like extremely accurate from set pieces, then, you know, you'd probably have just about everything that you could want in this team now. Because, you know, Pablo was so great, especially when he played on the right wing, and you see time and again when James has the ball and his delivery just isn't up to the level of Pablo's is. But it's just a different team, and they offer different things, and it's very difficult to change a winning side at the moment because it's like, who do you take out, and how can you really sort of complain? But I know what he's saying. Right, Liam B. The front four put in a shift last night. All worked for the team. Somerville and James helped out the two back players by doubling up. Yep, second half, fantastic. We looked much safer, didn't we? If Bielsa wasn't coaching Uruguay, and we had the chance to bring him back to Ellen Road over Farke, would you take it? Not for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, I want to enjoy that history, but I don't want to go back to there. And there's too many comparing and things all the time. And to be fair, I don't think I could take another season under Bielsa or 2 seasons because it's bloody hard work. It's enjoyable, but it's bloody hard work as well. I don't think I just want to enjoy it. Yeah, I was there to witness it. Move on.
Yeah. The defense feels much more solid under Farke, and I feel like Farke is very committed to attacking as well, but he's slightly more committed to winning, and he's not. I don't think he's anywhere near as stubborn as Bielsa. I think Bielsa might be the most stubborn man on the planet. You know, he would stick to once he's made a decision, he would stick to it till the end. I mean, there are so many hills that he was prepared to die on, including Tyler Roberts.
Yeah, Patrick Bamford. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing with player as well. I think I've got a feeling that Farke will be more quick to take players who aren't performing out of the firing line, whereas Bielsa would have stuck with a certain player. Let's say Roberts, let's say, you know, Bamford, Cooper, whatever, you know, despite the fact that it was clear it wasn't working. So yeah, I agree. I think we've moved on from that now, and I think the days of sort of harking back to Bielsa when we had Marsh and, you know, Gracia and Sam Allardyce, you know, it was easy to do, whereas I don't think we need to do it now because we've got a guy that still wants to win games well and play with a style. He's got an identity. He's given us an identity, but he also don't want to get pumped 4 and 5 and 6-0, and he'll do what it takes to get the points on. You know, he's not living solely by that philosophy, that footballing philosophy, and he'll adapt in game a bit quicker than possibly Bielsa did, but that's not taking anything away from how brilliant it was, you know, while Bielsa was here. But life moves on, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just more comfortable. It's not as beautiful.
No, definitely.
I think as an art form, Bielsa perfected it. Perfected football.
Well, you talked about Hernandez there. Bielsa's in the same category. How many Bielsas do you get in life? How many Bielsas have we had as managers since we started watching Leeds or followed Leeds? None. How many great number 10s have I ever seen who played like Pablo Hernandez at whatever level? Very few. You know, count on one hand the number of players you could watch with that ability. So the reason why they're held in high esteem and they're at a premium is because it's rare. And yeah, there's no guarantee a Share or a Sarr from Norwich would come in and do any better than the guys we've got now. So why would you disrupt what's working really well?
Agreed. Evening all, says Alison Adams. We need to sign Rodon in January. Hi, Alison. Liam B. Ruter wants to play everywhere on the pitch. He tries to be involved in every forward move. Can't believe those 3 coaches before Farker wouldn't play him.
That's because of shit.
Well, those 3 coaches. By the way, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because you just never know when we're going to pop up and do a podcast. As Dav says, hi guys, it's a mirage, 2 peacocks in a week. Ruter is very humble, says Liam B. You know what I like about Ruter in those interviews? You mentioned that interview before, Barnes. He says, I'm happy for me. And I just love that. I love it. It's it's whenever anybody who's English isn't their mother tongue, and then they can introduce these sort of new idioms to the culture, and I think we should definitely normalize I'm happy for me. I think it's just a very healthy thing to say.
That's allowed. Yeah, you're allowed to do that. It's cool, man. If you're happy for you and you're doing what you're doing on the pitch, we're happy for you as well. Yeah. I'm happy for me too.
Georgie, all about confidence, had said the same last season. He's playing with a smile on his face. Love it.
Yeah.
Righto. So have we talked? Okay, the goal we talked about. Now, sat back after the goal. I think this is probably the one. That's the one sort of criticism, that you could make about Daniel Farke that sort of that goes against Bielsa's ethos. I'll always remember Bielsa for that time, that Forest game where we had a man sent off, and I think we went ahead 2-1 somehow because we were still just attacking, leaving Meslier and Cooper back there, and everybody else just attack. And we went ahead, and I just thought, wow, we're going to win, with 10 men. And then I think it was 2-1, but he didn't sit back. He didn't want to defend it. Bielsa was yelling at them. No. So why are you trying to defend this 2-1 lead with 10 men? You idiots! Get forward, keep attacking. We lost 4-2, obviously. But Farke's very pragmatic, and he sits back. But Bielsa's philosophy was always that if you sit back, that invites the other team to attack. So were we getting nervous? Barney, were you nervous?
No, because we've got experience. If we're going to talk about Bielsa, we've got the experience of when we sat back, albeit we had 10 men against City and they just ran through us. But we knew we had it in us about the counter-attack, and that's our weapon in this side under Farke, is that they needed to get that goal. So the more they come forward, the more spaces there'll be behind them. And we've got the players to exploit those spaces behind them. So I think we probably sat back to invite the pressure, because we knew that if we did get that ball, and there was a couple of occasions where we did go ahead. We did go ahead with the ball. There was one ball from Ampadu to Somerville onto the right wing, which is an absolutely fantastic ball. It didn't quite just happen, but I think he was quite clever because
it's a 9-iron.
Yeah. The ball. We were ahead away. They needed to score. They didn't. But the fact that we have that our counter-attacking sometimes is absolutely sublime to watch. Yeah. And I think if we just had that one goal, that one pass, we could have exploited them again.
Yep, Matt. Were you worried?
No, not at all. I think.
I was you too. You too fucking. I was worried. I was biting my fingers off.
It's a default position for Leeds fans, isn't it? It's all they're going to score in the 97th minute, and nearly did. But I wasn't worried because I just thought we had their number, and I also thought they weren't having a great game. I didn't think they played particularly well, so I thought they. You look at the stats on shots on goal, and particularly on target or chances created there, XG, which I'm not a fan of anyway, but everything was like bottom as it could be, as low as it could be. So I didn't think they were going to create enough clear-cut chances. I mean, yeah, anything can happen, can't it? But I wasn't worried, and I thought that we had their number. I think the thing is about this, do you keep going? Do you invite pressure if you sit back? Not if you do it the right way. Do you get found out if you keep attacking when you're 1-2-0 up? It's all about reading the situation at that time, and it's about having a system and a kind of adapting to the game that's in front of you to get the points. And I think that's what Farke has proven he can do, and that's great. I never was really worried. I mean, obviously the header at the end, brilliant save from Meslier, but that was about it, wasn't it? I don't remember one other chance that off the crossbar. Obviously the first half, again, that was a kind of wonder strike. It wasn't a chance that was created, a clear cut chance, or cutting us open, or running through clear on goal, 1-on-1. There was none of that. So now I thought we just played a perfect game to suit that particular system and game last night. And the shape of the team and the way that we doubled up on the wingers that were probably the most dangerous players they had, or were the most dangerous players they had, just nullified anything that they had to offer.
Okay. Well, I was worried yesterday. Michael Brown. Yesterday, a win was vital because all the teams behind Leeds, West Brom, Southampton, Preston, all in playoff places, all won. And with Ipswich getting a point at Birmingham after being 2-0 down, yeah. Birmingham's blue bottle jobs. Thanks very much. You can't help us out, could you? Now well, whatever. I hope
Still
Leeds use it. I saw other Leeds fans posting like gifs of Wayne Rooney and all of this stuff. I just thought, no, don't speak too soon.
Too far.
Yeah. Also, yeah. I hope Leeds use yesterday's match as a blueprint in how to start matches going forward in this league, and not the slow start Leeds had against Norwich and Storr and Southampton. God, it was terrible at Southampton. We looked like we'd had 8 pints the night before, and then all ate some dodgy curry. Michael Brown says, guys, which style do you prefer, Bielsa ball or Farke ball?
Can't compare.
You can't. Obviously, Bielsa ball when it worked. We were getting beat 7-0 and stuff, and didn't like it. Not like it. But yeah, there were. You can't compare. They're very different, and like I said, we've moved on from that, haven't we? I think Bielsa ball, and there was nothing better than that, was there? I don't think we've seen any better football at Ellen Road than when Bielsa was manager. I don't think Farke's going to reach that, echelon, but does he want to? Probably not. He's probably more happy at taking 3 points.
I don't know, because that first half against Huddersfield, God, if we'd have kept that up in the second half and won like 8-0 or something, it's difficult to see a more perfect game than that. But
I think
the thing about Bielsa was the perilousness, the perilous nature of the all or nothing gambler. Of just leaving 2 guys and just attacking constantly. I think
you look at the Leicester game at our place under Bielsa, where they beat us 4-1 and played us off the park, and were 3-0 up in 20 minutes or whatever it was, and we were all over the place, and the scattergun approach to defending, and the midfield was just non-existent. And you look at the Barnsley game that they should have won, that we pretty much sort of suggested we were going to go up, where they should have won that game. We scored an own goal. It wasn't all bright lights and looking perfect under Bielsa either. There's no such thing, particularly in the Championship. So let's not get all rose-tinted spectacles about the Bielsa area, because there was games where it was fucking horrific, and there was the midfield got found out, and we were caught with 7 players on the end of their box while
the number of times opposition teams just walked through this massive gap right in the middle, where there was just Calvin Phillips. That was it. Calvin Phillips and nobody else.
Well, people always show that clip, the sort of wildlife expo clip of, I can't remember the player, the guy who was at Wednesday. No, I can't remember what's his name. Windus was running. I can't remember who he played for at the time. Was it Wednesday or whatever? And he was running through, and 7 Leeds players were hounding him to get back and win the ball. But the point is, 7 players were hounding him to get the ball back from an advanced position while he was 1 against 1 at the other end of the pitch. I mean, it was perilous, and it had a high risk, high reward when it worked. But there was a lot of times where it was a bit embarrassing how exposed we were. Particularly when you played a good team. You look at the game that almost did for the Tottenham game, Man City, Liverpool, where Man United, that first Man United game 6-2, where they were McTominay barely scores a goal, scored twice in the first 10 minutes. I mean, there was games where it was fucking embarrassing.
February, the most goals conceded in a Premier League month.
Yeah, I'm not going to take away from the brilliant high points, but there was a lot of fucking low points as well.
I think the thing is, Michael. The thing is, right at that time, during the glory years, you wouldn't have taken anybody else other than Bielsa.
Of course.
And now you wouldn't take anyone else but Daniel Farke, because I feel like maybe Ewan is an exception, Mac is an exception, a man who literally thrives in the peril, in the darkness, and who's giggling like a little kid with a glint in his eye. But for a lot of us, especially Barnes and I, that we do not enjoy. I think it's safe now with Farke. I feel much more secure and safe.
And that's the thing for me, is that there's been so much stress the last 2 seasons. This season just feels very not Leeds. The way we've gone about with recruitment, the way we going around as a club by seem to have a proper structure in place in the boardroom. We've gone for a manager that knows the league. We play really, really good football, but it's not heavy metal football all the time. If that, like you're going back to Kamara, maybe sometimes it doesn't take that pass because we're so used to it, like 100 miles an hour all the time. So maybe it's good just to play some safe football at times and then do attack, because we do play some really attacking football. But it feels like this season feels very normal, just very, very normal. Gone for the right players, gone for the right manager, playing really good football. And I do feel that I like everyone talking about Leicester and Ipswich, because we're just going around our business, going under the radar, just doing what we need to do, picking up those points. Yeah, you might lose a game. You might not turn up at some games. That will happen in the Championship. But I know with Farke, we'll go on a run again. We'll win 4 or 5 games on a trot and then might lose a game. But I don't feel stressed about it. I just feel quite happy knowing that we're okay where we're at.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Okay, man of the match then. Player of the match. Or players of the match.
Barney, I'll let you go first.
Kamara for me. I just thought the way he ran midfield was fantastic to watch. Did everything you wanted from a midfielder. Does the dirty stuff, but does some of the really nice, attractive attacking stuff as well.
Okay, Mac?
At the risk of making probably your man of the match now, because Kamara's gone, I'm going to go Rodon, because I think to keep a clean sheet there, but I don't know how often that's been done, probably not very often. I just think his leadership, as I've said already, I can't build him up anymore, really, because I thought he was terrific. I would probably say Kamara, but at the risk of repeating what Barney said, I thought Rodon was quality. And you know what? It's not just about the tackles and the headers and the duels that he wins and the stopping players running and the kind of toughness that he displays and the fact he can play a pass and what have you, can see a pass. It's what he gives everybody else around him, and I think that midfield is allowed to play the way it does, Ampadu, Kamara, partly because they've got that solidity at the back, and not just in Rodon, in Strike as well, but I think Strike has come on tenfold because of Rodon. So the impact he's having on everybody else around him, the quiet way he goes about his business, I'm gonna go Rodon, because I thought he was terrific last night.
Okay, and I'm gonna go Sam Byram. I just think he had probably the most difficult task on the pitch in keeping their winger quiet. What was his name? He had an interesting name. Abdul Fatawu Ishahaku.
He did last night. He's the guy who drove the taxi to get me home from Leeds Station the other day, isn't it?
Careful. Yeah, I mean, when he turned Byram inside out and then swung that shot crashing into the crossbar,
that would have been a really good goal, actually. Really good.
It
would
have
been, yeah. Meslier had no chance, would it? No, I thought he did. I thought he did really well. I thought he struggled to get his number, Fatawu's number, but with a little bit of more help from Somerville in the second half, he did really well. I thought having got that early yellow card, and the two players went down really easily. Was it Kasaide and Fatawu? I thought they went down really easily, and he didn't really deserve them. I didn't think, but he didn't get flustered. He could have very easily got frustrated and flustered and had a go at the referee. Just that experience again, isn't it? So, but then to go on 70 minutes or whatever it was on a yellow card, I thought he did fantastically well. Excellent header leading to the goal. Brilliant run, getting in there, brave, strong header down right where it needed to be. It took a brilliant save to keep that out. So yeah, Sam Byron for me does it just 7 out of 10 every single game. We got him for free. I mean, he went to Norwich, was injured the whole time, came to us, and now he's absolutely flying.
And his body seems to be okay at the moment, because Farker said, I don't think he can do week in, week out, but at the moment, he seems to be doing really well.
Yeah, unbelievable. So,
and also, since he's back at Leeds, he's posting more on Instagram. He didn't used to post on Instagram.
Really?
Until he came back to Leeds.
Is that
Barney with the social media stalking him?
Right, that's a social media update. This is another award that we've got for the football writers of the award.
See, Barney's like he never used to get changed in front of his bathroom window at Norwich, but he does now at Leeds. How do you know that, Barney? Somebody told me.
Just someone I said. I know, yeah.
Oh dear.
I think the thing about the Byron situation, I don't know what Firpo's going to be like. Nobody knows. Let's not pretend that anybody knows what. But you've got Spence to come back into that team, who's going to be, I think, phenomenal in that. And then you've got Firpo potentially. You've got Dallas to come back. Again, we don't know what Stuart Dallas is going to return from injury, but you still got a lot of people to come back into that team, and it just gives us options, doesn't it? And I think that we showed last night that they're not all that Leicester. I mean, I think they've done really well to grind out results, because the Championship's one of them, like the Stoke game for us, where there's an odd result. You think, how did that happen? And they've not been party to that yet. I think Ipswich, as much as people are slagging off Birmingham today, I think that's great for us. They dropped 2 points at a poor team. Birmingham beat us. I know that was before Rooney and stuff. So there's going to be loads of swings and roundabouts now. I don't think you can worry about other people's results just yet, because there's going to be so much is going to happen. I mean, West Brom, Preston going to be still up there at the end of the season. Who knows? But I think you just got to enjoy it. What we're doing at the minute and focus on ourselves. And I think just touching on Ref Watch, as we used to do, and we don't do so much now because we're kind of not under the spotlight of the Premier League. I thought the ref did okay last night, but I'll tell you what I thought was shocking. Fucking Byram got warned after that first tackle that it was a kind of borderline yellow. Yes. And then he said, you could sort of see him lip reading, he was going, one more and it's going to be a booking. Fucking hell, Harry Winks made about 8 tackles.
And Kasade was the one. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. He stopped a counter-attack. He stopped the counter-attack, pulled him back. It was the most obvious professional foul you ever seen. And it was right after that, nothing.
Well, that's what Pinot got in trouble for, because he was moaning at the ref saying, you've given yellow to him for somebody's going clean through and he's pulled him back or made a sort of professional foul or a slightly cynical foul. They did 2, didn't get anything. Harry Winks made 4 or 5 challenges that were really borderline yellow straight.
58 minutes and 30 seconds. We almost made it without whinging. Whinging about the ref.
This is the Leeds podcast. We've got to have a fucking moan about how shit refs are. I didn't think the ref. I'm not slagging the ref off. I just think you've got to. It's the consistency. People always say it. Winks should have been booked. He made a tackle on Ampadu as Ampadu went back from a Meslier pass and played it out wide. Really late, from behind. That's a booking on its own. He'd already made 2 before that. Well, where's this conversation? I think that's why Pinot got in trouble. And Farker got booked. Now, Farker's like he's like a vision of calmness and doesn't really get involved in any of that. It was that frustrating. I think partly the penalty decisions, which again we've discussed, I didn't think were clear and obvious penalties, but there was a lot of stuff going on around the pitch where you're thinking, hang on a minute, it's one rule for one rule for another here.
Maybe we should start off with Ref Watch at every pod, because it just brings that sort of angry, fiery energy.
Yeah.
Magic moment. Mac, you got to start off because Barney started off
Do you know what?
the match.
I'm gonna go for when that Chowdhury fucking big lump of wood came on with his stupid haircut. Fucking grabbed hold of Somerville, who was about 5 foot tall, and he fucking bodied him, literally lifted him up and backslammed him like without even fucking. I love that because I just think it's that fight. We're not going to be bullied. You're not going to come on here and start grabbing me. I mean, the fact that he got booked is ridiculous because the kid's grabbing onto him for like 10 seconds, holding him by his head. And he reacts to get away from him by literally lumping him on his ass. And the way he did it was like a WWE looking wrestling move, just like chest, like one of them Bruce Lee 1-inch punches where it takes him all the wind out of his sails and puts him on his ass. I thought it was brilliant. So a good on Somerville because he gets he takes a lot of punishment on a pitch. He gets kicked a lot. He gets held back a lot. Like he gets blocked off quite a lot. Yeah, I love seeing like little skillful lads who stick up for himself and put a big lad on his ass. So it was great. I love that.
Can you smell what the Somerville is cooking?
I like it.
the people's afro. Oh dear. Barnes, magic moment.
I think it had to be the goal celebration when James did the corner, goes in, he turns around to the away crowd, does that, and then all of a sudden the players go. Jorginho jumps up, goes like that. He pushes everyone out of the way and it just does the Leeds salute to the fans. Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant. Loved it.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to go with Meslier's save.
I thought I'd leave that one for you.
Left that to you for a change. Yeah, we'll be chivalrous for once.
Well, that's very nice. I mean, it was Gordon Banks-esque. I mean, let's not get around it. That's it doesn't get closer than that. That is right on the line, almost the whole of the ball over the line, and his fingertips. It's like that Seaman one in the FA Cup, was it?
Yeah.
My goodness me, that was a good save. That is one of the best saves I've seen for a long time.
Do you think that's because he's coached now by an actual goalkeeper coach?
Amazing, isn't it? Wow, it's amazing.
Again, coaching.
Who'd have thunk it? Jesse Marsh ripping up all these fucking stupid ideas. Let's get rid of all these silly nonsense ideas.
See, Marcus Abad was there so long that even I know his name. Even I know the goalkeeping coach's name because he's been there for that many years. So yeah, I mean, he can't have been that bad, can he? But
no, that salty bastard. Fucking what's he called? He used to be Villa manager when we. Oh, he was on co-commentary last night. Not co-commentary. He was in the studio.
Dean Smith.
Dean Smith, right?
Yeah. Don Goodman.
Dean Smith. No, Dean Smith was saying that Don Goodman's a penis. He's a complete fucking bellend. If he's from Leeds, he's an absolute fucking charlatan, man. Honestly, stealing a living, that bellend. He's starting to look like I've got a feeling about people with afros. Maybe it's because of my aerodynamicness that I hate people with loads of hair. Because I've had a go at Chowdhury, I've had a go at Don Goodman. So I think Dean Smith was in the studio and he was saying, it's what I expect him to save. Fuck off, you idiot.
Yeah.
Nice about Leeds. You can't say anything nice about Leeds, can he? So I thought the other guys were great. Beckford's great. I like Joby McAnuff. I think he's really intelligent. Good comment. Fucking Dean Smith in there saying, "Oh, it's what I'd expect the keeper to save." Even the studio were laughing at him like, it's going in the top corner from about 6 yards out, and across
bullet
the
header.
Yeah.
Bullet header.
Yeah, it was a great save.
He got he's like Wolverine or something. He's had adamantium implanted into the fingers on that. So strong, man.
Yeah, to push it away, that was the thing. And as much
like
as
Terminator claw under his skin, just
alien criticism. The way he cleared the ball after it came back out as well was good because anything could have happened after that. So
yeah,
good team performance.
What I wanted to say was, Barnes, so I thought you were going to take the Meslier save as a magic moment. So actually, my magic moment, even though that was a beautiful moment, my magic moment was after the final whistle, where Ruter goes up to Meslier, and I think Rodon's in between, and Rodon wanted a hug from Ruter, and Ruter brushes him aside and just jumps on Meslier. And he's like, and afterwards he's like shaking his shirt, like pounding his shirt, like come on, you know. Those two won the game for us, really. That goal and that save, and it just sort of epitomised Rutter's attitude, and he's absolutely come alive. He's the heart and soul of the club at the moment in this project under Daniel Farke, and I just thought that showed the ultimate togetherness, because Meslier's come under so much criticism, 158 goals conceded or 149 or whatever it was, because other keepers had a run at the back end of last season, didn't they? Under Allardyce, didn't help anything anyway. But he's come under so much criticism. That was such a moment for me. Jorginho Rutter and Illan Meslier, I think 2 stars of the future as well. If we don't get massive fees for them, or if they don't go on to become absolute club legends, I'd be very, very surprised, because they're so talented and so young. There it was. That was my magic moment. Right, I got one last question for you. Where does that leave Leeds? Are we going up?
Where we probably deserve to be. I think, with the start we had and the disarray throughout the close season, and players going on strike and leaving on loan, and the players we brought in. You talk about bargains. I mean, Ampadu, wow, what a bargain! You could argue that Road on loan, bargain. What a spot that is! Great scouting. The players who've stayed and fought for the shirt, brilliant. I think it's probably about where we deserve to be, and we've said it before that in any other season, with the points tally we've got after 15 games, we'd be top of the league. So I think you can't account for the start that Leicester and Ipswich have had. That's just good on them. But we've done everything we could do. Yeah, I'd say Wednesday was drop points, Stoke drop points. Apart from that, we've probably got just about what we deserve in most games, I think. Where does it leave us? Listen, we're in a prime position. It showed last night. They're not better than us. Leicester are not a better team than us. They don't play better football than us. They've not got more ability in the team and the squad than we've got. I'd say it's probably on a par, possibly. The two squads, they're not 11 points better than us by any stretch of the imagination. So I think that we've got a really good chance, and it will rely on us putting 7-8 games together and run like Middlesbrough did, or like Leicester have done, 10 games, winning 10 games or unbeaten for 10 games. I think that's where we're at now. But I feel like the squad and the manager, the team around us, who knows what's going to happen in January. I think we probably may dip into the market in January. I think Nonto might go. I'm not seeing anything from him to suggest that he's worth holding on to at the moment, and maybe bringing a 10 that gives us an option there. But let's be really honest. I think we're in a really good position. It's a bit like, Barney said before, everybody's watching the top 2 and talking about them, and nobody's really talking about us. And that's good. I think that suits us, and I think also it's a bit like that sort of marathon runner that's just hanging off the shoulders of the other 2 with the last mile to go. Let's see where we're at in, May and April, April, March, whatever. But we've got a great chance. I mean, what a team, the unity. I don't think we're under any pressure to sell anybody in January, so we'll probably have the same squad. We've already talked about Spence coming in, Dallas, Firpo, others that'll get fit and come back in. No doubt we'll lose a few to injury, but we're in a cracking position, aren't we? We said it before. You got football matches, you watch football seasons, you follow your team to get a smile put on your face sometimes and enjoy winning games and watching great performances. There's nothing enjoyable about getting.
Is that why we watch football?
Well, no, I mean, football fans' experience is disappointment. If you're a Man City or a Man United. Yeah, exactly. It's what most football fans are like. But you want to go and see us win games and score goals and get behind good people, and that's where we're at the minute. So enjoy it, and enjoy it while it lasts. Because it's always going to get fucking worse, isn't it?
That's the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
Barnes,
when we don't go up and sell all the squad fucking in next season, and we've got, whatever, Charlie Austin playing up front.
Barnes, you're the happy clapper.
Yeah,
are we going up?
Automatic. I still think we will.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll do playoffs. I still big believer that Ipswich will not be able to carry this on. 1 or 2 injuries, they won't be able to sustain it. And this is a championship. It's an absolutely batshit crazy league. Anything can happen. And it's only 15 games in. I think after Christmas you can see where we're at. But it's just the fact that we look a really safe side as well. We don't look like we're going to concede a lot. Like I said before, we will lose games, but I'm not going to lose my head over it. I'm not going to keep looking at who we're going to play next because I feel really safe under. And it's all right to be safe sometimes. It's all right to be safe rather than just like 100 miles an hour football all the time. But I feel really safe.
This is the PTSD from Bielsa, isn't it? It's okay to be safe.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's really fine.
Honestly, I'm not stressed. But I just like how everyone's just going about the business. Farker in his press conferences is just says what he don't bullshit you. There's no cliches about what he says and what he's backing it up every time he's in a press conference. You see it on the pitch all the time. I'm enjoying this season. It's probably because we were used to losing, and that's when the suppose we got to a point of used to losing. But now I feel like you're going into every single game feeling confident.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Right, some of your messages, and then I guess we'll wrap it up, boys. We've been going long enough, or are you like a marathon runner? You're ready to...
They're thirsty for more.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. Let's get it wrapped up. We did this last time. Let's do more podcasts for less time rather than these long, elongated, once a fucking month jobs.
I will try and get through as many messages as possible. I thank you very much for interacting with us and coming and watching. I think we all know now the 2-year plan for promotion back to the Premier League has surely changed to we need to be promoted this season, mainly to keep hold of Ruter, Ampadu, Kamara, Somerville, says Skip. Absolutely agree. CB says, yes, Skip, get 25 to 30 million for Nonto and buy a left back. A left back? Buying a left back? This is Leeds United we're talking about, right?
Never catch up.
Michael Brown, in a similar vein, if Leeds don't get promoted this season, the fear is the club will lose Somerville, Nonto and Ruter. Alison Adams says, I can't stand Dean Smith.
Me neither, Alison is a fucking peck.
Michael Brown says, I'm missing those vlogs you used to do with your other half when watching the Leeds matches on TV. Any chance they will come back? Michael.
You're married now, mate. None of that shit's happening anymore. Them days are over.
Michael, I'm at maximum capacity at any given time. Things may change. But yeah, if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, but I'm glad that you're asking about it. And thank you. It means a lot. Liam B, such a long season. Too early to say, but we've beaten the top 2 teams in the league in their own patch.
Yeah.
Liam, in their own backyard. Michael Brown, new owners, new directors of football positions still being filled behind the scenes at Leeds, depending on if Verber comes in. Yep. Oh, no, Weber. Sorry, Weber.
Fucking he's not coming back, that fucking traitor. Austrian prick.
Comes players coming and going. It's taken time to bed down. CB says, not sure about Weber. Heard some things about him. Very cryptic, CB.
Spill the fucking beans. Spill it. Nobody's watching. We'll take it out and edit.
Right.
Well, I was on the Norwich podcast, wasn't I, the other week, and I spoke to him after we did the stream, and he said when Stuart Webber came in, really, really good. He was hungry for young players, hungry for good attacking football, and then he seemed to have lost his way a bit, and that's when Farker got sacked, and then they've gone down the route of getting old professional footballers. I mean, if we look at this season, like getting Forshaw and things in, I think he started to lose his way a bit.
Right.
I'm convinced.
Yeah.
I like the guy we've got, the Newcastle guy we've got. Is he still there? Is it Ashworth or whatever he's called? I can't remember what it's called. Not Ashworth. Hammond, sorry. Yeah, I think he's quietly gone about doing some excellent business. You know, you look at the players we've talked about, Kamara, Rodon, Ampadu.
Yeah.
Fuck, you know, if that's his track record thus far for us, keep him.
I know, yeah. Well, everyone's get that Rio Ferdinand meme out.
Okay, definitely, mate.
Get the blank check out. Tell him to write whatever numbers he wants. Hammond's at the
100%.
wheel.
Well, it's not broken. Don't try and fix it. He's done a cracking job. He's brought in some great players. Spence, you look at the deals we've done, the sort of deals that others probably wouldn't have got across the line as well. So he's obviously got. Yeah, I'm more than happy with what the deal, the market and how we've dealt with it this season.
Agree. Final thoughts, or is that too much? Should I say last word? Is that shorter? Is that snappier?
Last word, yeah.
My thing, yeah, we've got my thing.
You've got a thing. Matt's got a thing. Get your thing out, Matt.
Right away. Fucking hell, it's not this camera lens.
It's not going to fit on that little screen.
I'm going to need a bigger camera. No, do you know what? I only wanted to say, obviously, you'll know, but I went to London this week. I've been in London all week. I just got back, had my jabs and everything, brought my passport and what have you. And obviously met Ian Wright in a pub and sat and had a pint with Ian Wright, which was
legend.
Fucking spectacular. So as much as I'm a huge Leeds fan, I don't really like anybody else. I always had a bit of a soft spot for Wright and the way he played, and I read his book and the way he sort of came about making a career for himself, coming through the amateur leagues and being picked up quite late, 23, I think, from wasn't Wilston. He was playing on Hackney Marshes when he was like 21, 22 and got picked up by Arsenal. I just love the story and obviously what he's done since football, even though he always scored against us for Palace and for Arsenal. He scored some great goals at Ellen Road and broke our hearts, but I just think he's a great bloke. And I put a comment on Twitter this week that you should never meet your heroes because usually end up being really disappointing, but he wasn't. He was fucking absolutely superb. I mean, spent a lot of time with the kids and talks about how much he loves Calvin, feels really sorry for Calvin, how his career's gone. He says, I've got a lot of love from up north. And he said some very
he wore number 8. He wore number 8 because of Alan Clark.
Right, okay, I didn't know that. Right,
yeah.
Wow. But what a guy. I mean, he was so humble and spent a lot of time talking to the kids. I was amazed that my 14-year-old's got him in his FIFA team. So he's like, bloody hell, I've got hats older than him, and his FIFA team.
I love him. I'm so jealous.
Superb fella. Honestly,
I'm so jealous.
I'm going to dine out on the fact that he said, "Oh, I love that top you've got." And he said, "You've got it going on, you haven't you? With the threads and that." And I was right made up. And then we went and we sat down and left him to have his pint and what have you. And he came over to say bye. And say hello, say bye to kids, shake their hand, shake my hand. I had a proper. I got an Ian Wright hug.
Did he spell nice?
Yeah, they always do. I mean, you know what my nose is like. That nose is an ornament, really. It's just for hanging glasses on. It's for fuck all. It doesn't smell. Can't taste. Don't. It's just for sunglasses, my nose. But I literally, I've been eating a pint of prawns, which I know you love prawns, Donny, but a pint of prawns out of a glass and dipping it in lemon juice and eating it and having a drink. And he came over, so I'm covered in like prawn juice and made me get up. He went, "You would take it easy, give me a big hug." I got an Ian Wright hug. I mean, fuck me, I can retire now. I'm done. Just an ace. Completely
I love him.
chance.
I absolutely love him.
Yeah, me too. And I was saying to him how much Leeds fans have got a lot of love for him, even though he did always score against us. And he said, "You know what? Most of my love comes from up north." He said, I won't repeat everything he said, but he was saying a lot of Cockneys don't like me, especially with the London rivalries and stuff. But he said a lot of my love comes from up north, and he's got a load of love for Calvin Phillips, and he's just a fucking great bloke, very magnetic. And when I first went up and you're like, "Oh, can I get a photograph?" He was a bit cold and like, yeah, get it done. And then the minute he saw the kids and the family and realised I want a lunatic, he just warmed and like, I think I probably, I always feel really conscious about sitting with too long and I'm always a bit too cool. Like, right, cheers, mate. Have a good day. Enjoy your pint. And I kind of reneged back to my seat. But I think he'd have probably sat and had a few pints with you. And one of them blokes, just a great fella. And one of my sort of footballing heroes away from Leeds United. So I was made up and I now know where his local is. So I'm going to do a Barney and just every time I'm in London, just rock up now. Just do a bar like, all right, mate, remember me. But I was cracking. I got an Ian Wright hug, arm around me in the photographs I've got. Just ace. What a fucking experience, man.
Amazing. And you also met Edgar Davids.
He was the fucking complete opposite. Oh my god, yeah. Well, it's funny because the kids were like, "Is this what it's like in London? We're going to meet all footballers." And like, I got off the train at King's Cross and bumped into Edgar Davids within 5 minutes. And then the first pub we went in when we got to where we were staying in West London, Ian Wright. So the kids were like, "That was it. That's the only people we saw the entire time we were there." But Edgar Davids was like, I said, "All right, mate, can I have a photograph?" And he went, And I looked at him and I thought, shit, is it Edgar Davids? Or it's just some Rastafarian bloke with orange specs on that looks like him. And he was like, I said, yeah, Edgar Davids. He went, yeah. I went, oh, can I have a photograph then? And I went like that, and he's like, you can smile if you want. Me, probably ended up having a fight with Edgar Davids in Queen's Cross. He said, you can smile if you want. He was like, cool as you like. He was cool. He was proper cool, but very cold compared to Ian Wright. Be difficult,
wouldn't it? Be difficult being a celebrity. People asking for your photo all the time.
I'm conscious of that. But, I'm conscious of that, but that's the perks or downside of the perks you get from being a celebrity, innit? And they earn enough money, but I'm really conscious. I'm too cool for Scotland. I don't want to go up, make a fuss, whatever, but I just couldn't resist them. Once I'd seen Edgar Davids and then it was Ian Wright, I was on this like mission to like, I'm going to meet as many.
I thought you were at a conference or something.
It was a bollocks. I was down for a holiday. I was with the kids and that. We went to watch Back to the Future and do a bit of shopping and go do a bit of eating. And Borough Market, Barney went to Borough Market, which was class.
Nice,
spent a bit of time there and we went to see a show and it was ace, mate. So I've just got back yesterday, but we spent the week down in London. It was class, but that was my highlight, man. I could dine out on what he said to me, how he was with me, how he, came up to meet Lisa and say hello to Lisa and just, said love to the family and God bless you. And I'm just like, fucking hell, this is ace, man. But what a fucking genuinely good bloke.
Right then, Barnes, top that meeting Ian Wright. No pressure.
My thing is watching Wycliffe on ITV4. Oh, fucking all right, I'm off. See you later. Click. What's Wycliffe? Wycliffe, the detective thing.
Yeah. It's from it's a show from the 70s, isn't it?
No, 90s, late 90s. It's set in Cornwall.
You're getting closer. You're moving forwards in time. Are you a time traveller or something like?
So I've gone from 70s, 80s to 90s.
Right.
Yeah, and then early 2000s, I've been watching Where the Heart Is.
Oh, fucking hell. That is like an old deer in a young man's body, wrapped in a young man's body. Yeah.
It's like crazy.
I've already started to order my hot meals delivered. I've already put
TV dinners.
Said to my wife,
"Oh, they're lovely. These are."
Seen that wheelchair? It's only £300. That's decent. Get it in the boot as well. Yeah.
I can't wait to see you in the Peacock in your mobility scooter in about 2 years' time, mate. Honestly, it's fucking brilliant.
Okay. And what's my thing?
That bombshell.
Yeah. Well, there's a new. I could tell you about Hitler because obviously I'm still going through that 44-hour audio book of the biography of Hitler, but let's not go there. There is a show that's come out, All the Light We Cannot See. So we just started that. It's on Netflix. So very first episode was really good. So that's I can't recommend the whole thing, but the first episode was good.
I'll watch that in 20 years' time then.
Yeah, they wait for you to catch up.
Not caught up. So you started sweeping your hair across the front there, Donny, as well. Are you getting a bit influenced by this Hitler fucking thing? We've all watched Transition. If you come in November with one of them fucking little slug tashes there, mate, fucking hell. I'm going to start fucking ringing up Interpol. We've got another one up loose, fucking lunatic.
No. I've been you know what's happened as well? I've got a fountain pen here. Very nice. It's Kaweka.
That kind of thing.
You can't see it, can you? This isn't going to work, is it?
The closer you get, the worse it's getting, mate. It just looks like one of them quiz shows where it's like, guess what it is.
Anyway, can you tell what it is yet? Let's not go
See
there.
what it is yet?
No. Anyway, I've been playing with it like the idiot I am.
Have you now?
And look at that!
Has it gone off? You've been playing with it and it's gone off in your hands, Donny.
Yeah, I've got ink all over my hands. It's an absolute disaster, so...
South Park, me.
Anyway, and I got a new book today. So I'm going to read this. It's called Babel by Rebecca Kwang, R.F. Kwang. I'm going to give that a go. Book of the year, apparently. So,
is it Ryan Babel's autobiography that he used to play for Liverpool?
Liverpool, Holland.
Yeah. How did you guess?
What's that about then, Donny? Because you're obviously the intellectual in the room. What the fuck's that about? Something that I can't comprehend, probably.
Tradiatore. An act of translation is always an act of betrayal. It's 1828. Robin Swift, orphaned by cholera in Canton, is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lovell. There, Robin trains for years in Latin, ancient Greek, and Chinese, all in preparation for the day he'll enroll in Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel.
You know what? You wish you'd not asked. Fucking hell. He's about halfway through that then. I was like, don't matter, it's fine. Huh? Okay. What?
I honestly can't remember the last time I read a book.
Really?
Just being dyslexic, it just takes too long. I just think, fuck this. No, I'll watch the film instead.
Are you dyslexic, Barney?
I'm dyslexic. Have you not noticed my tweets half the time? They don't make sense.
I thought that was just
Yeah,
you.
to be honest, mate, I've listened to you speak a lot of times and you don't make sense.
I thought you were just pissed.
Yeah. Not to do with that.
No, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell at all.
Yeah.
And your followers don't seem to mind. You got enough of them.
There
you go. Not doing too bad for yourself, are you? You don't need books anyway. What do you need books for?
What a shit. Burn them.
Yeah, movies are better.
You know, I've got into audiobooks. I've done Spotify. I've got audiobooks for free now. So I've been listening to Morris's autobiography, which I just didn't have the patience to read because it's like fucking reading some Shakespearean play where the language and vocabulary is brilliant, but quite hard to get into. So I'm listening to that.
So it's like his lyrics, but for for a whole book.
But 600 pages of them. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Bob, what's his name? Bob Mortimer's autobiography, not autobiography, Away, whatever it's called. But listen to that, and Taste, Stanley Tucci's book. So it's been a blessing because it's like going to bed and putting my earphones on and sort of chilling out, listening to audiobooks because I'm not a great reader, as you've probably fathomed.
I've got loads of audiobooks on the go. Yeah, obviously the main one is the Hitler biography. Let's not get into it.
Nah.
Again. Right, that's it now. That's it. That's done. That's done. We're going to beat Plymouth Argyle. Don't you worry about that. We don't even need to. Oh, and by the way, just a quick on this day. Should get a sponsorship by this. Joe Mewis, send us some money, will you? On this day, Saturday, 4th November, leave you with a cheery memory. Mark Viduka produced one of the finest striking performances ever seen at Ellen Road. How many goals did he score? That's it
And do you know who the man of the match was? Who got us to win 4-3 in the end? Not he don't get the plaudits. Decor. Yeah. He dragged Leeds through that game to win that game.
Such a good player. Such a good player. Right, that's your lot. Thank you very much. Subscribe. It's free.
Average.
Just like the OnlyFans of And we don't have an OnlyFans, but it is free to subscribe to us. And there are no hidden charges. But there's more hidden. Oh, good God. See you next week. Come on, Leeds!